I've accidentally become the world's biggest fan of a musician who doesn't exist.
Taylor Swift?
Worse, me.
Oh no, you've become your own dad.
To college radio DJs during the 90s. Hosts Keith and Steve helped expose bands like Nirvana, Pavement and PJ Harvey. They went to shows, interviewed musicians, and reviewed albums for various scenes and papers. They worked security at concerts and once even did load-in for Fish. Now they're dads. Whether you want to explore lesson or music or take a trip down memory lane, tune into the new Dad Rock. Join hosts Keith and Steve as they...
That's so weird, dude. Oh, man.
Oh my God. So how, I don't understand this. You're your own biggest fan? Explain this to me and to the listeners.
Well, I mean, 'cause I don't have any other fans. That's one. But the music, I probably spend half my time listening to AI generated music every day. And it's
AI generated music that other people have made, like that you find in the stratosphere or in the whatever sphere it is.
No, I want to say it's 99% me.
So music that you listen to, that you create yourself.
Yeah, with my friend Suno.
That's-
Yeah.
That, I have to say that's a little bit disturbing.
Oh, why is it so disturbing?
I mean, I guess I can see the whole, like, if you're in the mood to listen to something and you can't find what you want to listen to, but you have a mood or a vibe or I don't know. Tell me more about this before I leap to conclusions.
Yeah. You haven't leapt yet? All right. Well, a couple things about listening to music for me in general is that when I record my own music live, like acoustically, like before, the albums I've made before, and I even shared one in episode 42, like I listen to those songs over and over again because I'm either editing them or I'm like trying to figure out the playlist order, or I'm, excited and I listen to the whole album one night. So music I make, I already listen to a lot of it myself. Like over and over again.
This is music you make with your guitar, your voice, your keyboards, your drums, your thing.
Well, so
this is actual music that you, for lack of a better term, manually make.
Yes, correct. A human-made music. Human-made music.
You're Barry Manilow in this case.
Yes,
you
exactly.
write the songs. You write the songs.
Exactly. I'm the singer.
Maybe the whole world doesn't sing them.
Totally. I'm still my own favorite fan, but I made the music like acoustically, for lack of a better term. So if I make a song, I'm already listening to a lot. So that's separate from what we're talking about here. That kind of explains it. So I make a song with Suno AI, and we'll talk about how I do that later. But I listen to it over and over again because sometimes, I think the song's hilarious. So maybe it's the Weird Al Yankovic coming out in a lot of my songs, like, because they're kind of tongue-in-cheek. Even when they're serious, there's still like a joke in my head about them. So like I'm personally attached to them. But I also listen to them over and over again because I'm trying to find out what playlist they go on and like what the order of the playlist is. Like I made a 7-song playlist on Friday in an hour for one of my company's department's offsites. Right? So
all fake music?
Yeah, all fake music. I actually had each.
And so what is the process? Is any of this music something that you created organically, acoustically?
No.
Or what have you?
No.
Okay, so the things you record, two separate things. One, you record with, and I know it's not a 4-track, but you record on, you do your home studio 4-track recordings, voice, drums, keyboards, guitars, etc.
iPhone. Yeah, exactly. iPhone or GarageBand. Yep.
Okay. So that's one thing. And then you're creating stuff on Suno with AI totally separately, just off of a vibe, off of a feeling, off of, I want to hear a song that sounds like this.
Okay, so it's usually more I have an idea. Like, you can almost imagine that my process is more like Guy Like Voices. If I understand correctly, Guy Like Voices, he was a high school teacher or a teacher, and so during the week he would come up with titles for songs and write them down, and then on the weekend he would actually record them. I kind of have an idea about a song, and a lot of them are about like crazy articles I've read. Like one song, I think it's called Ohio Afterglow, which the computer named, but it was basically about a multiverse. It was basically about how your future self might be influencing your past self because of, multiverses or string. Time is like kind of all conflated and interacts with each other. So
okay, Ohio Afterglow, I played that song for my daughter who's in her early 20s, and she thought it sounded like Ed Sheeran. So I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, I think it's great because Ed Sheeran's a very popular artist. Very, very popular. I think
I've heard of him. He was in Game of Thrones even.
Oh, yeah, he was. Dude,
he was a Lannister. Fucking Lannisters.
Dude, yes, always. I actually think he bought I think it's him, but I think he bought his own town in England and then, like, turned the church into a bar or music performing space, but got in trouble. I don't know. I should look that up. I'll tell you next time. But, like, Ed Sheeran's ginormous artist. Ginormous in the world. You probably...
He's huge. Yeah.
You never listen to him, I'm sure. Yeah. Why would you?
Inadvertently, I'm sure I do. I'm sure if you played 7 of his favorite songs, I would know 4 or 5 of them.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So, all right.
Not on purpose.
Yeah, so that's cool that the song... So, I wouldn't say it sounded like Ed Sheeran, but I'm not surprised. So, okay, let me go. So, first I come up with an idea.
Well, let me, before we get too much further on this, so, like, either that day or the next day, we were driving somewhere, and I had Coco Rosie on in the car, and she's like, this sounds like Keith's AI music. It was the song, it's from their latest album, it's called Girl in Town, and it, like, features Chance the Rapper.
Amazing.
But she's like, what is this? This sounds like Keith's AI music.
That's awesome. And also, I can't believe that Chance the Rapper does features on a Coco Rosie song. That's amazing. I like the crossover. So, okay. So I have an idea for a song. And then I go to ChatGPT, which is not Suno, but ChatGPT. And I then put in, write lyrics to a song about this. I might copy an article in. I might copy an idea in. I might use the word funny, serious, rap. Like, give it some direction. Like One Direction. One
Direction?
Exactly. Now, I'll give it, like, because you could just type in random words. Like, I actually think that people who are good at prompting things might have taken Latin, because Latin, strangely, and I might be remembering this correctly, but I got an A in 11th grade, so I think it's true, is, like, Latin could be in any order. It was really weird. It's like you could say, eat food now, or now food eat. Like, it was kind of just say words out loud and people would get it, because, I don't know, you're probably talking about obvious things, like bleeding, gonna die, die bleeding. So you could just dump words in. It doesn't really care about the, a, grammar, periods, whatever. So, anyway, that spits out lyrics, and then I might edit the lyrics. Like, usually I'll make sure there's not, like, something that's totally stupid or off base, because it's sad when you go all the way through the process and a word just destroys it, makes it fall apart. Yeah, so, okay, so then I go to... and then I decide what I want it to sound like. And that might be... I do that 3 different ways. Either I just, like, type in how I want it to sound, or I might think of a specific sound from a record or a band, and I go to Google, and then I go, describe this band to me, or this album. Or Suno has, like, I don't know, 5,000 categories of music, like, crazy stuff. And you just click buttons. You're just like, oh, okay, I'll take these 5. And it might be totally random things together. Okay. So,
I mean, to be fair, that's kind of how I think modern artists kind of become modern artists, because they've digested all of the artists in history, and they pick up something from the Velvet Underground, or they pick up something from Iggy Pop, or they pick up something from Can, or Michael Jackson, or the Jackson 5, or Jackson Brown, or Jackson Pollock, and suddenly, they've created a new genre or
a new sound.
Well, I think I've made the argument on this podcast that music kind of stopped evolving in the early 2000s. I think it's really now just a combination or a mashup of things you've heard before, kind of reorganized, put out in a new way.
That's right. I think when we talked about that again, sorry.
So maybe AI music is just the logical next step.
There's actually something to be said for that. I think what they said was if you put music on in the 60s, you would recognize this from the 60s because of the recording techniques, the sounds, the vibe. The 70s, you could start pinning things on like, oh, I think that's from the 80s. But you're right, around the 2000s, everything was like being smushed together or retro or whatever. So everything started sounding like everything else.
Well, yeah, and just look at my top favorite albums of 2025 and 2024 and all the episodes going back. They're kind of retro sounding albums that, what I like about them is this, oh my God, this sounds like psychedelic music from the 60s, but now new and improved. And in a weird kind of way, that's what AI is doing. Except it's skipping the whole lived in, learn the instrument, play every day, deal with the ennui in your bedroom as you stare longingly off into the distance or pine over a lost love. Well, I don't think that AI is doing that, and it makes it uncanny.
Well, so okay, that's interesting because I did play guitar or do play guitar for like 30 years. So I'm not saying I'm good, but like I put in time and effort. So
right, but you're not putting a chord in there or a riff and telling, what if you put 3 chords into AI and then told AI to make a song around that? That I would feel a little bit better about.
Okay, so the first 4 albums, for lack of a better term, the playlists, actually the first 4 playlists I put together, that's exactly what I did. In fact, I was only using Suno with my acoustic guitar into my voice memos on my phone, giving that to AI and then trying, basically improving it so it doesn't sound like me. My singing.
It's funny because you've sent me, I don't know how many, 100 AI generated songs.
Probably, yeah.
I've probably listened to 25 of them. I did listen to that full AI album that has one legitimately really good song. But my point is, one of the first songs you sent me, I was like, this is weird because it sounded a lot like you. Like, even the singer wasn't too. It was like if you had, it wasn't too far off from your vocal style or the way you sing. So the first song, I was like, for a second, I was like, oh, did like Keith figure out how to produce? And then I was like, no, it's AI, but it sounded like you. Everything since then, the deluge of playlists and quote unquote albums have not been natural.
Right. So, okay, at first I was using my own songs, and there's also like a couple more things you can do. So after you put in the style of sound, and then the lyrics, which, by the way, I would upload my audio, and Suno would try to transcribe my lyrics and get them mostly right, and I could fix it up if I wanted to. And then you have a couple buttons. You can say if you want a male or female singer. You can say if you want them to generate the lyrics, or if you do it. I always do it myself so I can edit them. And then it says, how weird do you want it from 0 to 100? And then how much do you want it to sound like the style you gave it? And from 0 to 100. And then if you've uploaded a file, it says how much you want to sound like this 0 to 100. So that was definitely, the one that sounded like me was definitely, some of those scores were high. Sound like the audio file itself. They by the way, Suno just released Voices, which allows me to actually talk or sing into it, so it can actually make it a lot more like me. I haven't played with that yet. But I do want to say one thing about AI. Like, this is what I've been thinking about a lot, is like the calculator. Right? So at first, a bunch of people using an abacus, to add shit up. And you're like, okay, I kind of, I'm really good at the abacus. Actually, I'm the best abacist. I'm really good with an abacus. And then one day, someone hands me a calculator. I'm like, well, fuck this calculator. This calculator's stupid. Like, or am I someone who was okay at an abacus, but now I get a calculator and I become really good at a calculator? Like, is it the calculator's fault?
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, you're still identifying and you're pulling out those notes or chords or phrasings or melodies. It's just, it's not from an instrument in your hand, and it's kind of crazy. And one of the things that you might miss is kind of when you mishit a chord and you accidentally add a like diminished seventh to it or something, and all of a sudden you have this unique sound. Like, I just saw a Rick Beato interview with Alex Lifeson, and the first question he asked him, he's like, play the Alex Lifeson chord. And what it is, it's some like weird 12th diminished thing. It's because he put his finger in the wrong spot, but it sounded cool. And now you hear the chord and you know it's Xanadu by Rush. Like, you just know it.
Yeah, so that happens.
So will we lose that? Or if you go to the weirdness scale to 100, like Angine Patrine, how do you... Like, I feel like that's past 100 on the weirdness scale from an AI standpoint.
And I don't think AI could do it, actually.
Like, AI could not do that. And I think that's part of their appeal and their allure. And, maybe it's why the youngest generation is smoking cigarettes again.
I mean, I'm no legal expert, and I don't know for a fact, but obviously Suno trained their algorithm on the music catalog of the world. It seems like they would actually have to stop that once they became successful, or they're going to get in trouble, which means at some point they have an Encyclopedia Britannica from like 2024. So Angine Patrine probably is not in there, and it probably doesn't have microtonal music. Also, they probably trained it on digital music, not analog music, so it's probably missing a lot of like world music or other weird things. So you're not going to get something novel from it. Now, I like popular music or pop music more than you. So and I'm making these things quick and for fun for the most part, or to get a story across. I put in my old poems too. So that might be better than the ChatGPT lyrics from an artistic perspective. Yeah, I'm curious to see how it goes forward, because theoretically, you're right. AI doesn't currently innovate. There's nothing novel or new. It takes old things and puts them together. But as far as randomness, weirdness to 100 would work, even though it decays out pretty quick. I'd probably shoot for 90 or something. I use 81 a lot. 9 times 9. I don't care why. And then, but you also get the randomness because sometimes, I'm looking at it now, under styles, like it says dark rock, reflective, blues, jangle pop, hand drum, salsa romantic, electric techno, guru, ambient IDM, fingerstyle guitar, and I can click any of these and list them. And then I can click a refresh button, and there's Coplo, Dang Out, I don't know what that is, soft harmonies, pop, Abutusk, pagan, Norteño bando, I know that's North Mexican.
Okay, you don't have to go through every single genre, but I get the point that there's a lot.
Well, no, but I just meant more that I could randomly hit 4 or 5 of them in a way that an artist would never fucking do. You never do... 3 or 4 of those together like this. So anyway, so you do that and you don't know what's going to happen. And the algorithm...
Unless you're King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard who does that.
Well, yeah, totally. I agree.
Right. But it's interesting that this is happening at a time when the artists, the way they get paid streaming music, putting out albums, that's not how they make money.
Yeah, that seems like a topic for another episode. But I will say that when King Gizzard left Spotify, didn't someone go in and make AI versions of their songs? They did. Did they have the same lyrics? I don't quite recall because it was taken down pretty quick. They had the same title, but that's easy to just type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. So the whole thing about music and, AI, it's cool what you can do, but then can you play it live? And that's where I think there's still a market. There's, I want to see, if I am really into a band, for the most part, I'm going to want to go see them live. Do you just learn the songs from AI? And, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that. You look at the producers of today's pop hits, it's, the same 4 or 5 guys are writing the same song, or all the hits.
Totally. Well, I was thinking about EDM, or it's now EDM, but before it might have been electronic music. I remember when the DJs were actually just getting old records, like a jazz record with a pop album, and they were changing mid, low, and bass range to make it into quote unquote a house song, and now people actually just make straight up house music.
So I guess what it would be is, you are become the best prompter, and you go to a club and you can prompt an awesome show.
Like, live prompting music? Oh my God, that's brilliant. Vibe prompting music? Oh, I love that idea.
This could be the future. Who are we to say? We're not all hung up on songs that were popular in 1995. But speaking of not really EDM, but more electronic music. I don't know if you were ever a big fan of this band, Boards of Canada.
Yeah,
they have a new album just out called Inferno. It's their first album in I think it's about 13 years. And Music Has the Right to Children was popular around 2004, maybe 2005. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those albums. It's mostly electronic. It's very downbeat. It's not like very driving, so you don't have it on in the background when you're trying to get things done or work out at the gym or anything. It's more music that you have when you're doing something really cool, or almost like you're a spy, or you're doing some sort of secret mission, and that's the music on in the background. Essentially, it's music for like doing cool things too. That's how I would describe it. It's a vibe.
Music for doing cool things.
Mostly instrumental, and
yep.
I don't know how they make that. I'm sure it's programming a lot of different
so that's interesting, because this reminds me of just the AI versus not AI music. Like when I first got to San Francisco in 96, 97, I remember when the Kilowatt played its last live music show, because live music was too unpredictable, whereas getting a DJ was easy, right? So like Pavement played the Kilowatt and one of those years, and then there's no bands. I went back a year ago and bands are now playing again. So to your point, in like after COVID or whatever, in real life things are coming back. So I think you can have both. I don't think it's an either or situation. In fact, the more music, the better in my mind.
And look, maybe there'll be bands that there was an artist last fall who went to number 1 on some chart, and they didn't exist. But the thing is, once you have the song in AI programs, you can learn that song. You can actually have a band become the real thing and actually tour and play that music. But the seed of it will come from, ones and zeros.
Yeah, so 21 Pilots, when they play live, it's 2 guys. One guy's a live drummer, and one guy can play any instrument, but there's 4 or 5 tracks, so they're always playing to a background track. Right? Yeah. Like, and you could say that's not live music. I remember, I've had an opinion about everything. I probably had every opinion about everything at some point. Yeah, because Depeche Mode would spend, one poor guy, I think it was Alan Wilder, would spend weeks programming the sounds that would go in the machines. Then they would take the machines on tour, and they're pressing keyboards or keypads or whatever to get the sounds. Yeah, but they were like field recordings that they had made into the sounds that they used in their songs. And was that music back then? The hippies, the bluegrass people were probably saying no. Maybe they still say no. So lots of people have opinions.
I guess at the end of the day, if it's good, it's going to be popular and it will take over. But right now, from what I've seen, it's not good enough yet. And it's passing that uncanny valley. I still think I'm pretty good at identifying what's been AI generated and what's not.
Yeah.
Because there is still that little barrier.
Oh, for sure. It's usually in the voice, I think, too. Instrumentally, I think you might be able to get away with it. Also, but what I can imagine is people create AI music and then run it, record it on tape. You start making it shittier, or you know what I mean? You start putting it out in the elements. You record on your phone off a speaker that's in the rain or something.
Or you put a filter on to make it sound like that.
Yeah, but I think I'm with you. It's kind of like, I've heard the story multiple times, but it's always attributed to a different person. But basically, Jack White is famous for, spending 48 hours in a row in the studio with analog tape, trying to get it just right. The suffering of the artist, which, I'm all into. But someone, and by the way, it's been attributed to multiple people and multiple Instagrams. But I think it was a comedian. It's no one cares how much you suffer, or no one cares how you make the music. They just like the songs. And I was like, are you an artist? Are you an artist? Are you just a fan? Do you just like the music? Do you like the audience? I think people have a lot of different reasons why they like music.
I think you're right. That is a good.
Am I my own favorite artist? I don't think I am, but I listen to me the most right now. Mostly in the car for 10 to 15 minutes while I'm doing chores, trying to figure out if I should keep the song I wrote last night. Because I'm producing a playlist a month for sure.
All right, so if I was in the car, I would listen to
King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard.
Oh, so this is funny. So this band that we talked about a lot, I kept calling them Hoovery, and they had 3 I's at the end. It's Hoover 3.
It's Hoover 3?
Yeah, they were like lowercase. They were lowercase Roman numerals.
Yes.
So they're Hoover 3. I don't know what happened to Hoover 1 and 2, but Hoover 3.
Is it a 3-piece band?
I don't even think so.
Okay,
like I
cool.
think it's been different configurations over the years, but they have a song called "Out of My Time," and it's from an album from like 3 years ago, "A Round of Applause," and that's been my jam like lately.
Nice. I gotta listen to that then.
Yeah, instead of yourself, just take a break, man.
Oh man. So for decades, technology helped us find our tribe. Now technology might help us become a tribe of one. The strange question isn't whether AI can make music, it's whether the best music is supposed to come from someone else. Because maybe the greatest feeling in music isn't hearing exactly what you wanted. Maybe it's hearing something you never would have imagined yourself.
Yeah. Oh man, that would have been. You should have said that earlier in the episode. We could have been talking about all the off-kilter weird shit I like. You listen to Butthole Surfers. Oh man, the New Dad Rock. So much to talk about, so little time. Thank you for listening. We'll be back at you real soon, the New Dad Rock.
Stay classy, AI.